Welcome back to Hannity, and we're broadcasting tonight from Jerusalem. We're in Israel, where, of course, the people of this country, they live under the constant threat of terrorism. Now, last year, in the city of Tel Aviv, 2 Palestinian terrorists opened fire in a crowded market, killing 4 innocent people, wounding 16 others. Earlier today, I visited the site of this brutal attack with Prime Minister Netanyahu's spokesman, David Keyes, and the president of the Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs, Dore Gold. And I asked them about the dangers that Israelis are facing every single day, surrounded by a lot of enemies. Take a look. One of the things that's coming up is the president will be meeting with Abbas. And maybe for my edification, the audience edification, Abbas claims he wants peace. What does he really say in public? What is the different, the public persona versus the truth that maybe that would help the president?
Unfortunately, there's something going on which is simply outrageous that President Trump can change. Mahmoud Abbas is allowing a system to grow that is rewarding those who engage in terrorism, rewarding their families. You got a young kid, Ahmed, and he goes ahead and he shoots an Israeli. He will get payments from the Palestinian Authority. He'll get a guaranteed job in the future. And if he kills somebody, he gets more money.
That's going on today.
That is going on today.
You kill an Israeli, you get money.
You get money.
Your family gets money.
And it's Palestinian law. So I have 2 very simple messages for Mr. Abbas. Stop the payments and change the law. He should not leave Washington without having made that commitment. The real stumbling block for making peace is the culture of hatred that the Palestinian Authority has built.
Let's play a hypothetical game and ask this. If Abbas were to go and meet with the president, if he recognizes Israel's right to exist, if he stops making the payments to those that kill Israelis, if they get rid of these squares and statues honoring killers of Israelis, where do you begin the peace process from that point? Obviously, that's got to be a basic, simple starting point to get any negotiations moving forward, right?
Well, I think first you have to understand what are the vital interests of both sides.
Right.
And you look at those vital interests. You go, do I have a bridgeable deal? Do I have a deal for the whole process? Or maybe I have to start with something more limited. The worst thing you can do to an American president is to put him into a process which is going to fail, which is going to be like 2 locomotives colliding. That's bad for the president. It's bad for the reputation of the United States.
Explain specifically, if President Trump is watching the show right now, the trap is what for him, and what does he need to understand in negotiating this to get the outcome that would be beneficial for Israel, for the Palestinians, and for the world and the United States?
First of all, I want President Trump to succeed. He deserves to succeed. We all deserve his success. But for that to happen, we've got to design a process where we can work on the things that are bridgeable, but not trying to, throw a Hail Mary pass each time. And that's what's been happening. We've gone too far.
What's the Hail Mary? That they think they're going to do what?
That they think we're all going to meet on the White House lawn, shake hands, and end the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Not going to happen.
There are conflicts that you can address, but sometimes the gaps are too wide.
All right, joining us now, David Keyes, spokesman for Prime Minister Netanyahu. We're at the Sorota Market, and it was in June of last year. This was a low prime location. It was a terror attack. Tell us what happened.
Right behind us, a few tables back, 2 terrorists came in. They ordered brownies. They were dressed in suits. They tried to blend in. Average people were sitting at these tables, sipping coffee with their families, and they stood up and they murdered 4 people in cold blood. What is it that drove these people to stand up and start shooting people? What is it that drives people in the streets to stab average Israelis?
We have video. I've played them on my TV show. I've played them on my radio show. The indoctrination of young children into hating Israel, hating Jews from a very young age.
Look, the Prime Minister spoke at the UN about a 13-year-old boy. He called him Ali. He said, imagine Ali wakes up in the morning and goes to soccer practice, but his soccer team is named after Dalal Mughrabi, who murdered about 37 Israelis. And on his way to school, he passes the Abu Sukar statue, erected to a mass murderer who killed 15 people in Jerusalem. And when he gets to school, there's a Palestinian Education Ministry seminar honoring Baha Alian, who boarded a bus and stabbed 3 Israelis on a bus. And when he turns on television, he sees President Abbas saying, "We welcome every drop of blood spilled in Jerusalem." That's a direct quote. And when he turns on Twitter or Facebook, he's going to see President Abbas's senior advisors like Sultan Abu al-Ain. You know, and I'll quote it for you in the original Arabic. It's something that your viewers deserve to know. This advisor of Abbas said, "Aynama tajid Israeliyan iqta'a raqbatahu." Wherever you find an Israeli, slit their throat. Look, everyone in this region deserves to live in peace, and there's nobody who would want peace more than the Israeli people and the Israeli Prime Minister. And every time we've had a real partner for peace, Israel has actually worked out peace deals which lasted decades, in the case of Egypt and Jordan. Peace is actually attainable, but what it requires is, number one, a fundamental acceptance of the Jewish state.